Hi friend, and welcome back to Torches Yoga and Mindfulness. Usually, a lot of work goes into my videos for you. Not saying that this one hasn't been its own challenge, but it's not what was planned. So we're just gonna definitely wing it today. Bear with me. I had planned today to present to y'all my first yoga flow on the Torches coaching page, and we were going to share a Hatha yoga flow. After trying many different angles, many attempts, many styles, many everything, many opportunities to practice mindfulness and compassionate self-forgiveness, I have had to make the determination that my space does not allow for me to give that range of motion that I need to be able to properly present a video to you to teach you how to do mindful movement through a yoga flow practice. But that's okay. There are hundreds of wonderful yoga teachers you can find flows from on YouTube and all kinds of other different outlets. I've always felt, anyway, that my forte as a teacher was to teach you how to do yoga for your body. If you're doing a forward bend and you can't touch your toes, that's okay. You're still doing a perfect forward bend. Mindful of all your posture, you're still getting the same benefits as somebody who can reach all the way down to the ground. I would like to go forward, though, providing y'all videos that do share yoga tips for modifying poses and sequences. Maybe one day we'll find a nice outside space to do a recording at and do some flows together. But for now, I think we're going to stick to workshopping some poses to get you more comfortable with how to move into and out of a pose, how to use props for a pose, and what a pose may look like for your level of experience, your body type. It's going to look a lot different than some super flexible yogi you may see on YouTube doing it. And that's still okay. It's still the right pose. You're still doing the work and you're still getting there. When we use props in our yoga practices, think of the prop as our mindfulness. It gives us the space we need for the growth we need. So don't be afraid to use props. If you're beginning your yoga practice, I definitely encourage you to use them. I've even seen some people, in place of a block, maybe grab a soup can, a nice round soup can, something that's still going to give you that support and give you a little bit of height so that you can find that full expression of the pose for your body. So talking about a block first, a block can be used on its three different heights. We can have it flat, we can have it on its side, or we can have it here. I've also got this half moon block that gives me a little bit of a curve. So if I have my hand further to one side, it provides me support there and gives me that space I need. Straps are wonderful for when we're working to reach down to our feet, or maybe we're pulling our foot up back behind us. These are going to be great for that. I have a strap that's got little loops all along the way, so I can hook my foot in wherever I need to have as much length as I may need. If you've checked out a beginner vinyasa class, then you've definitely been through our sun salutation. And something I see beginners struggle with is in the plank chaturanga cobra expression. So I'll get down here and demonstrate, of course, but that's where in our plank pose, we lower down to the mat and then we breathe, inhale up, reaching up, arching your back, shining our heart center forward. What's sometimes not clear in the cues is you may be standing at the front of your mat, but as I mentioned, I just kind of don't have the space to allot for that. You may be standing at the front of your mat, maybe a forward fold happens. You come in down to your plank pose, and you're here and they say chaturanga, down to the mat, shine your heart center forward, rise up to down, or rise up to upward dog or cobra. So here, when we do chaturanga, we're not just going to fall straight down, because our hands right now are stacked right underneath our shoulders, and falling straight down doesn't quite work. So if you're struggling with that, the first thing I'm going to recommend as a beginner is the blocks. Even on their low speed here, they're going to give so much more space and so much more stability to your pose. So I'm going to find, as soon as they cue that, I'm going to find my hands on my block for my plank pose. And when we chaturanga, we're going to shift forward. Okay? I'm going to bring my hands, they're under their shoulders now. But when I get that chaturanga cue, I'm going to shift forward my toes and sink down. And then I'm able to lift up. Then we can even curl our toes under and head back to downward dog. So, to keep that strength from our plank to chaturanga, means we're going to shift forward and bring her down and float our chest up. Okay? Every week I work hard to bring y'all 2 new videos, mindful living practices and a guided meditation. And I opted to forego our meditation this week for some mindful movement. Well, if this video hasn't been a testament to what yoga mindfulness is all about, just going with the flow, learning, adapting, growing, and continuing forward, I don't know what else is. This was supposed to be an entirely different video. I have the voiceover all ready for it, but that's just not how things worked out, and that is absolutely okay. Let me know if you want to hear more about the blocks, the tools, and the props that we can use, and I'll make sure to actually plan something out better where we can talk about each one and how we can incorporate into the poses and into the practices to help us give us that space we need to grow. Thank you so much for hanging out with me while we freestyled today. Stay present, stay kind to yourself, and I'll see you next time.